Here at TIAA Bank Field, rain showers, maybe an occasional clap of thunder supposed to continue throughout here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded at the 2.
We got this. First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Let's go now.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Alert. 3 out.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 31-yard line.
Set, ready? 60 or.
I got one.
Get it.
Here we go on second and 12. Looking deep for Adams. That's caught inside the 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Ready. 30 base.
Man, I got you.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the...
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Watch the twins.
Go.
Now Jones. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Ready?
2nd and 5. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Come on,
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
No, no, no. Hey, check 24. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Look, squeeze. Ready, go.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And this thing gets blown up well behind the line of scrimmage, but the marker is down on the field. Who's this against? So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal, please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they got it 1st and 10. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Costello. This is Jeff Swaim, the tight end. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options.
Ready, go.
Mike's 50.
Be grip.
Back to throw. Costello forced out to his left. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
And logo.
That's another Jaguars first down. First and
Hey,
10 at the
Mike
29
7.
line.
Get it.
On 1st and 10, Costello. And that's complete. It's Green here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Strong right. Hey, we got four. Got four down.
Shoot.
To throw on second down. Costello. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
52, Mike 52. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Hey, Mike 52. We got to
Rock it.
Let's go. Oh,
Sit up.
Flare.
And go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to fire one. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jay Sternberger, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the #1 thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Set, ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, let's go. Come across. Here we go. Check.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Watch the pass. 44's Mike. Check.
5.
2nd and 2. This one caught by Ridley. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Riley Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, then you're breaking away to that corner. But that was well executed.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
If you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Here we go. 10 Lobo.
Let's go. Do you tighten up?
Bravo.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Ready.
Throwing on first down. Costello. He gets it complete to Harris. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dwayne Smoot. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Set, ready, 90, Wolf.
Rip left, rip left.
He'll look to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And it is good. That cuts the lead now to 11, 24-13 our score. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Check, check. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Come on, set. 30 base.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
Second and 14.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And he's able to get it out of there. And this one will be down by a member of the kicking team at about the 40-yard line. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down leads to 1st and 10.
Here we go. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
Hey, go.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Smooth. Hey, Sam off. Ready?
2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10.
Hey, you.
They're going to look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd
Hey,
and
Wahoo!
1 at the 20-yard line.
Watch Mike. I'm coming.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Costello. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead is down to 4. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Be a long day for you.
Here's 2nd and 8. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Costello. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Strip that ball. Strip that ball.
Come.
2nd and 9 now.
Let's go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
On the ready.
Now the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Ready?
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Flushed out right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen.
Throwing again. Costello. And that'll be incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Looking to throw. Costello. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
At the 33-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They hand off to their big tight end, and he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
2 yards and a Packer 1st down.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll toss to Jones running left. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Dwayne Smoot just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll look to throw. Caught by Jones. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Miles Jack able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's got Rome. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 36 yards on the play.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. On 2nd down, it's Harris. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. On 1st down. It's Green, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
2nd and 11. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Zadarius Smith in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. First and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Back now in Jacksonville. And we've got a dandy here. 1-point game as we begin the 4th. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, If they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
We play to win. Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy.
61, matchbox, right. Check.
They'll run on first down. Vaughn, he takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 34-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big run there by Jones. 51 yards on the ground.
And the Packers first down.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
On the set.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Jaguars 26.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Hey, Alpha.
Off play action. Costello. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Dancing away at the 30. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Back. Check nickel.
Here's Jones. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Dwayne Smoot, his 2nd sack of the night.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
22 jet bomber. Check. Hey, I-7. Go.
To throw on 2nd down. Costello. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. Stephon Diggs with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. Back to throw. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I got him. Wide. Get wide. Hey, exit. Now.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side. And got his man complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Important extra point up and through, and it might seal the deal as that makes it a two-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, Haywood.
2nd and 5. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On first down, Costello. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And Adams has it complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Ready. 60 outlaw.
You don't want that. Pick up the ball.
Shoot.
They'll run the option right here on first down. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper in at 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and 1.
10-2 stop.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long.
Let's go.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, the win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.